easier.
Cool.
All right, cool. Is it recording? I think it is. Perfect. All right, everyone. So welcome. Thank you all for being here. Super excited to chat with you all today. I know you all are from different places in the US or internationally. So whatever time it is where you are, good afternoon or good morning. We appreciate you all taking times out of your schedule to be with us today to hear a little bit about the Career Center at USC and some of the services that we offer to you as an incoming Trojan, whether you're a first year, transfer, graduate student. We service everyone, and we're super excited to share some of these resources with you all today. First and foremost, fight on, welcome, congratulations, you made it, you're here. So happy for you. I know this has been a very unusual year with everything that's been happening. But this is a great accomplishment that you all have achieved. You should be super proud of yourselves. And, you know, even though this year looks a little bit different than what other years have, we just want to let you all know that we are still here to support you, to provide you with any resources, connect you with opportunities. And we're going to talk about a lot of that today. So I am here with my colleagues also from the Career Center. I want to give them space to introduce themselves, and then I'll introduce myself, and then we can get started. So Manjari, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Awesome. Well, hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Manjari Agrawal. I am a career advisor at the Career Center. I have been working at the Career Center for about over 2 years, was in June. I went to UC San Diego for undergrad, and then I went out of state to Indiana University for grad school, and now I'm back to SoCal for my just working experience now. So I'll be a little bit more behind the scenes answering any questions that come through to the chat or the Q&A. So, and I'll jump in if I please as well, but that's just a little bit about me. So I'll pass it on to Malika.
Hi, everyone. How are you doing? My name is Malika. I'm also a career advisor. My specialties, I guess, would say internship advising, but have a lot of experience looking at resumes and working with students. I have been with the Career Center for 2 months, but I've been with USC for 3 years. So if anyone is in the Marshall School of Business, I used to be an advisor there for 3 years. And I went to UC Riverside for undergrad, and then I'm now getting my master's at USC, so I'm also a student. And I'm really excited to hear about all your accomplishments, and you're really going to enjoy USC.
Thank you all. So my name is Ryan Joshua. I am also a career advisor at the USC Career Center. I do a lot of the career advising when it comes to cover letters, resumes, career exploration, job searching, things like that. I went to UC Santa Barbara for undergrad, so we got the UCs repping. I shouldn't say that. We're Trojans. Fight on. But we're repping both, I guess. I went to UC Santa Barbara for undergrad, and I actually came to USC in 2018 to pursue my master's of education in post-secondary administration and student affairs at the Ross Sears School of Education. So that's super cool. Just graduated in May, finally, thank goodness. So it's nice to have that all said and done. I will actually be coming up on a year at the Career Center in August, I think August 23rd. So you all got the fresh, cool, hip step. No, just kidding. Just kidding. We're all fresh, cool, and hip. But yeah, super excited to be here with you all. I can't stress that enough. Please, we want this to be as engaging as possible. Malika and Manjari are here to chime in if I miss something, but we definitely want to make sure you all are utilizing the Q&A and or chat feature as I'm going through. Sometimes I can go a little bit fast, or I might say something that you might not be familiar with. So if any questions come up during this presentation, please feel free to drop them in the chat or in the Q&A. Manjari and Malika will either answer them or they'll ask me to answer it. But either way, we want to make sure that your questions and inquiries get answered. Even if you just have something that you want to say, if you think a resource is really cool and you want to, just shout it out, or, just dialogue with other folks that are here, you're more than welcome to do that. Again, we want this to be as engaging as possible, and as fun as possible. A lot of people think career can't be fun, but it really can be. So yeah, without any further ado, I guess we'll go ahead and get started. All right. So you all can still see everything, right? Just want to make sure. Okay. All right. So just for a couple of learning objectives for today. So essentially what we're going to cover, we're going to talk a little bit about the Career Center basics, where we're located, the services that we provide, our hours of operation, things like that, career exploration and connections. We're going to go over some really cool resources that you all can come into SC being aware of, and also some of those connections as far as different opportunities that you can connect with employers, connect with different organizations, connect with your peers, student groups in different capacities, and things like that. We have some really cool key dates that we want for you all to remember. We are going to send out this information later on, the PowerPoint and some links, so you all can have access to this at a later time. So you don't have to write everything down furiously, but if there is something that you want to take note of as far as some of the signature events that we have that are coming up for the fall, please make sure you have your phone or a pad and pencil ready so you can take some of that information down. And then we're just going to go over some of the key takeaways for the day. All right. So our mission statement. Our mission statement, enhance career development through partnerships and innovative technology and preparation for global career aspirations. It's so interesting. This couldn't ring more true at this current moment in time, with everything switching to all these different virtual platforms, utilizing technology so much more now. So this has been our mission statement for years and years, and it rings true now more than ever. We really are striving to make sure that you all remain connected, whether that's virtually or when we get in person, and to really kind of catapult you all into the working world, whether that is doing work internationally, doing work nationally, but the resources that we provide for you all and the support services, we hope will really kind of help you in that journey to enter any profession that you choose, no matter where it is, to really thrive in that profession. So that's a little bit on our mission statement. The USC Career Center offers support services to all majors and all GPAs. So whether you are in Dornside doing chemistry, whether you're in Marshall doing business administration, or you're in, Annenberg doing social media, it doesn't matter. If you are a currently enrolled student, we can offer you support services, no matter what your major is or GPA. Recent alumni too, but we're going to get to that right now. Undergraduate students, graduate students, recent alumni and graduates, we offer the gambit. We're going to focus primarily on currently enrolled students, since all of you all are currently enrolled students, but just so you know, for future reference, once you are an alumni of USC, you will still have access to our services. If you are 3 years out, you'd be considered a recent graduate and you would get services with us. And if you are more than 3 years out, you would still have access to us, but it would look a little bit differently. All right, let's get this party started. Okay, what I did last time, 10 points to anyone who knows who this is and where it's from. Just saying, 10 points. And we'll send you something in the mail. Just kidding, we won't, but
Write it in the chat.
You act like we will. Yes, put it in the chat. You know who it is.
Oh, we got one person.
Who is it? Who is
it? Yes.
Yes, Carlton from Fresh Prince. Thank you. Good job. Someone last week said Family Matters. I was like, come on, come on.
We weren't sure if we were aging ourselves.
I know, right? I was like, okay, now they definitely know how old I am from this, because I'm super invested in Fresh Prince and Family Matters too. I watch it every day. Okay, so visiting the Career Center, just a couple of things that you all should be aware of. So we are open every day, Monday through Friday, except for holidays. We're closed, and the whole university would be closed. But every day, Monday through Friday, we are open from 8:30 a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. I'm not sure how many of you have had the opportunity to visit campus before everything happened, maybe on a college tour or during an outreach program you might have participated in. But if you are familiar with the Student Union building, it's kind of like in the food court area across from Seeds and Lemonade and Tudor Campus Center. That's where we are located. We're in the same building with like the different cultural centers, where the ticket office is, things like that. So we are in STU, Student Union Building 110. We also are in the Student Union Building B1. So just so you all know and can kind of get like an idea, so we are 2 levels. On the 110 level, that's where a lot of the general career advising happens. If you are coming by for drop-ins to have your resume critiqued, if you are coming in for like a 30-minute appointment about like a salary negotiation or career exploration or anything like that, you would sign in at the front desk at STU 110. However, if you are participating in something like a Trojan Talk, which we're going to talk about later, or interviewing with an employer, or if you are visiting Malika for internship advising, you would actually go downstairs to B1. So there's STU 110 where like the general career advising happens. And then there is STU B1, which is downstairs in like the basement where we have like our workshops, presentations, internship advising, and more of the employer things that happen. So some of the presentation rooms, just for you to be familiar with, the Trojan presentation room is B3. And then we have the Cardinal and Gold room, which is B6. And we use both of those spaces to host some sort of like workshop or employer event where employers come to campus to network with students and talk about some of their professional opportunities. And just as a quick note that I put at the bottom, the Career Center daily operations and fall events are now virtual due to COVID-19. So that's something really important for you all to know. All of our events were in person before, but now with COVID-19 happening, we're operating the exact same. Our daily operations are the exact same, but we've just transferred everything over to different platforms, whether that's Zoom or the Brazen Virtual Career Fair platform. Which I'm going to talk about a little bit later as well. But any events that we would typically have in the past, if you looked at our website and saw something you were interested in or thought was cool, chances are we are still holding that event this fall. It's just in a different way. So a lot of things you are going to find are going to look a little bit different here lately, as far as what networking looks like, what recruiting looks like. A lot of that is changing. But fortunately, we're all in a generation where technology more or less is more familiar with us. So, you know, not given things that happened last week with like Zoom, but, you know, for the most part, a lot of us are relatively familiar with some of these new technology platforms. So adapting hopefully won't be too challenging for you all. But I think, you know, we'll all be fine. But I say all that to say everything is happening just as it was. It's just virtual now. Again, make sure you're dropping any questions in the chat. If you have any questions, Malika and Mundry are here. They are armed and ready to answer. All right, cool. So just going a little bit into some of the exploration components. So one of the primary student services that we provide to you all is our virtual career advising. There are 2 different kinds of virtual career advising that you all can participate in as currently enrolled students. One of them is our drop-in career advising. So this is something that's for immediate assistance if you need support. If you need one of us to look over your resume really quickly to get like quick feedback, you would sign up for virtual career advising. That's virtual drop-ins, and that happens every day, Monday through Friday from 12 to 3 p.m. So by registering on our Brazen platform, which will send you that information, you would upload your resume onto Brazen, input your information as far as your name, your class, things like that. And then once the drop-ins start, you would be connected with a career advisor. They would be able to look over your resume or cover letter or answer any questions you have, either by chat. We can also FaceTime you, do a video chat with you, or a call. I will say primarily we usually do just like the chatting, but if you prefer to do a video call, we can also do that. For virtual drop-ins, this is more so if you have just like, again, a quick question and need immediate assistance. So like if you want us to look at your resume, your cover letter, if you want some quick interviewing tips, if you are looking to like network with an employer or an alumni, or you're not sure how to go about it, we can answer any of those questions during virtual drop-ins on Brazen. The second sort of advising that we do is our 30-minute virtual appointments. And you can register to do that with us on Connect SC on the advising appointment tab, or it's like the advising calendar tab. So if you click request an advising appointment, you'd be able to see which career advisors are available at what time to meet with you for 30 minutes, either that week or the following week. We do tend to book up a little bit quickly. So if you need a really quick assistance, I would suggest doing the drop-ins. And if you have like an interview coming up that's scheduled a little bit far out, I would say try to schedule with us as soon as you can. Don't wait too long, just so we can make sure that you get seen before you whatever event or interview or, program you're planning to attend. So these 30-minute advising appointments are more so for some of those like longer conversations to give you more time. Virtual drop-ins are only like 10 to 15 minutes, but for the 30-minute virtual appointments, we can really do a deeper dive into showing you some of the resources and opportunities, showing you Connect SC, really strategizing with you about like maybe a salary negotiation or an offer you might have. So those are basically the differences between the two. If you want to do a quick drop-in, sign up on Brazen to meet with us for 10 to 15 minutes, 12 to 3. If you want to have a longer conversation with one of us, then schedule a 30-minute virtual appointment on Connect SC with myself or another career advisor.
Real quick, so Malika answered the question. We had a question about when we had drop-ins available. So in both for drop-ins and 30-minute appointments, we are still actually available over the summer too. So like Ryan said before, our operations pretty much don't stop unless we are literally on a university holiday. So advisors are available throughout the summer and during the school years. The only thing is we do ask that you have already registered for classes at that point. So right now, some of you may not be registered yet. So once you register for classes, then you'll have access to Connect SC and then our services.
And we got another question from a student about what is the best way to sign up for virtual drop-ins. So the way it works on the platform is once you sign into Brazen, you're kind of put in a queue. And during that time, once you're selected, you can then go into the room with the advisor. So it's not like a regular appointment where you're signing up ahead of time and you're going through this confirmation and RSVP. It's really between this time period, you're going to be accessing our website and then waiting to speak to a career advisor.
And I just dropped in the URL that's on our webpage about virtual student services. And the first section of that will be career advising. It'll give you all the URL that we use for virtual drop-in hour. So the URL to take you to Brazen and then the step-by-step instructions. So I would just bookmark that page or just keep it handy. So at least you all know how to get there.
Yeah, thank you all. I would actually really recommend that you all, when you all have access, to sign up for virtual advising or just drop in for drop-ins, or at least look at our website to get a little bit familiar with the platform. Like I was saying before, all of our events that are typically in person will be transitioning to online, and Brazen is going to be the primary platform that we're using for career fairs, for meet and greets, and things like that. Any alumni events that we're having, anything like that, we're primarily going to be using Brazen. So the sooner you get familiar with it, the more comfortable you'll be navigating that platform when you are in front of an employer doing like your elevator pitch, right? So use us as practice if you want to just drop in and, upload a resume and have us give you feedback just for practice for the platform. So that way, when you get in front of an employer, you're familiar, you know how it works, you got your stride going, and you won't have any potential hiccups. So I recommend as soon as you get access, log in, even if it's just to say hi, we don't mind, say hi, and then, we'll go from there. Thank you all. Please keep your questions coming. We love these. All right, so just a couple of resources. Just want to say we have a lot of resources, whether that is our own Career Center resources or external resources that we have partnerships with that you have access to. So this is just like literally a millisecond of the resources that we have, but these are a couple of my favorite and the ones I find to be really helpful. So when you get a chance and when you get access to Connect SC, please go on and look at some of these things because it's a lot of information. But I do want to highlight just a couple of these primary ones for you all. So you've heard us talk about Connect SC. Connect SC is essentially like the hub of the Career Center, right? So if you have any questions about a particular major, or if you are looking to break into a certain industry and want some like interview techniques, if you're looking for internships in like the music industry or whatever, a lot of these things can be found on Connect SC under the resources tab. But if you are also looking for an internship or a job, whether that is on campus or off campus, work study, part-time, Connect SC is basically our internship, our job and internship database for students. So what you would do, if you see on the left-hand side, there's like the jobs and internships, you would click search and it'll queue up the page that you all see right now. So you could put in like for a keyword, maybe like social media, and then on location, put in Los Angeles or any city you're looking at. And then that will populate a number of different opportunities that you might be qualified to apply for based on your class level, your major, things like that. Even ones you're not necessarily qualified for, it'll all pull up. It might just indicate whether or not you're qualified or not based on, you know, again, your class level or your major. So it'll queue up all these different opportunities. You can filter it even more to say, you know, like I'm looking for on-campus work study, I'm looking for part-time, I'm looking for unpaid or paid internship, and it'll just give you all these really great resources. And these are all postings that are posted by like different departments on campus, or they can be posted from employers that are in the area or, you know, from other places. So when they have opportunities, they love Trojans. I can't say that enough. Like they love working with USC students. They love having you all in their offices. I'm actually doing some work with employer relations right now. And every time I talk to an employer, they rant and rave about USC students. They can't get enough. And so they are posting their opportunities specifically on Connect SC so Trojans can access these job listings and apply to their jobs. And what's really cool is that when you are applying directly through Connect SC or maybe participating in our on-campus recruiting program, which I'll talk about in a bit, your application materials are going directly to the employer in a separate pool than what other candidates might be submitting their application materials through if they're applying through like the organization's career platform. So that's something to keep in mind. You're already kind of at an advantage by utilizing Connect SC by searching for jobs and internships. So definitely when you get access to Connect SC, check it out, play around and see what opportunities are out there. I know a lot of students are asking, is there anything out there right now? There are. Employers are still recruiting and hiring for positions. Some industries have been a little bit more impacted by COVID than others. So, you know, it might not be as many as what there was before, but recruiters are still employing for certain opportunities. And whether or not it's remote or not, they might indicate that, but that might be something that you have a conversation with them about as you kind of go a little bit further into the interview process. But this is a really great platform for you all to use to just know what's out there, depending on your major or your field of interest, but also to use it for resources. And then this is also the platform that you would use when you are scheduling an advising appointment with us. So it's kind of like again, it's the hub.
Ryan, we have a question that I think would be great to be answered live. So
Sure.
Someone asked about how we help with on-campus jobs, and then someone also asked specifically about work study. So if you want to touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, so for, you said on-campus jobs, right?
Yeah, on campus and then additionally work study.
Okay, so they kind of go they could go hand in hand. So that's a really, really great question. So on Connect SC, we have postings that are posted from employers that are on campus and off campus, right? So when I say on campus, I mean maybe certain departments are looking for a graduate assistant or they're looking for a student worker to work at the Career Center or at, a front desk and, orientation programs. And so what happens is they will post as an employer on ConnectSC, and you would apply and just filter that you're looking for on-campus work-study jobs. And so we're kind of like that third-party platform where we allow them to post on our site, and you can apply directly through ConnectSC to those on-campus positions. Now, I would encourage you all to utilize ConnectSC for on-campus positions, but also to go directly to the source if you're interested in working at a specific department or academic unit, because they will know exactly what availability they have, and they will have their positions. And just because they have it, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're posting it on ConnectSC. So the postings that are on here for on campus is not indicative of all the available positions for student workers on campus. So that's something really important for you all to note. And also when it comes to work study, that's something that is determined by your individual financial aid packages. A lot of on-campus jobs do want for you to have work study. And so that's something for you to just be aware of as you are looking at different opportunities. Again, ConnectSC is more so like that third-party platform where on-campus departments and off-campus employers can post to advertise their listings. But when it comes to the details about that particular job and on-campus availability, it would be best to reach out to those individual academic units or departments to get a little bit more insight. We also have a work study career fair. Malika and Mandri, I'm not sure if you all know what the date is. I forgot the date yesterday, of course. But we do have a work study career fair that you all can attend. I really recommend that you all take advantage of that as well, because again, just because we have some opportunities listed on here on ConnectSC, that doesn't mean that we have all of them listed. So the best way to be aware of what those opportunities are on campus would be to attend the work study fair, or to reach out to those individual academic units and departments just to make sure you're covering all of your bases. I hope that answered that question. Mandri, if you have something to add, go ahead.
Yeah. So we should know the date by now because we do know it's finalized. Just to give you all an idea, typically it's the Friday before classes start. However, I think this fall it'll be the week of classes. So either way, it's either just going to be the Friday before classes or the week of the first week of classes. And in terms of availability of positions, because on campus, what does that look like? So it's really just going to depend on the department's needs. Some of them may be virtual, some of them may be on campus, and some of them just may not have the budget for it too. So we just ask that if you are looking for work study, like Ryan said, just keep looking and just ask them directly, because we're the ones that are more of the platform as opposed to the ones that oversee it as a whole. And for more information on the work study fair, once we have the date and everything, all the marketing for it, it'll be on our social media, it'll be on our website, and I'm sure it'll be on the financial aid office's website too. So yeah, just keep checking.
Yes, I think as you all are here longer, you'll start to see that we have so many different opportunities as a university, but it's really important that you all are in the know and that you're seeking out a lot of these different opportunities, that you're staying connected with us, that you're staying connected with your academic unit. You're going to be getting emails left and right, both from us and your academic units, advertising different opportunities. And I know it can feel like spam, like getting all these emails, but if you take the time to go through them, they really have a lot of great resources and events that you all could really benefit from. So as an incoming student, whether you're graduate or undergraduate, just make sure that you're taking close note of that, because like Mandri said, when the work study fair happens, we are going to be pushing that for you all to know about. The financial aid office is going to be pushing that out. So you do have to kind of make sure that you have eyes and ears in all places so you can capitalize on all of the resources as much as you can.
Ryan, we got a question that I actually think is related to resources. So
Sure.
Regarding internships or jobs abroad, and is that something that we provide by the Career Center? And if you want to talk about it, or I could talk about it, it's up to you.
Yeah, you can get it started, because I think that's actually the next resource I was going to talk about. So if you want to jump it off, go ahead.
So we have an option called Going Global. So this is one of our online resources that you can access through ConnectSC. And this is where students can find opportunities for internships abroad. So it's really cool that you can go on and apply for positions in whatever countries you're interested in. And this is a great way to kind of test drive if you're wanting to maybe move to another country or work in another country. The other program that we offer is in the summer. It's called Global Fellows. And this is an opportunity for students to apply to intern in a different country. So this year, due to the pandemic, we actually transitioned to an online opportunity, and we used a company called Virtual Internships to help place our interns in various companies around the world. So we had students in Vietnam, Hong Kong, I believe we had a student in Finland, and applications for this are due in April. Right now, it is to be determined if we're offering it next semester or next summer, just because of the pandemic. But a lot of students do the going global and look at other opportunities, but there are a lot of opportunities out there. And then sometimes with the specific schools, there's opportunities to also do virtual or international internships. So.
Yeah, thank you, Malika. That was a perfect segue. Thank you for whoever asked that question in the chat. Yeah, Going Global is a really, really great resource that you can access through ConnectSC to become more aware about different opportunities, both national and international. So let's say you were just interested in learning about opportunities that were back home in like Frisco, Texas, right? Or in Merced, or in Eugene, Oregon. You could utilize Going Global to kind of do that national job or internship search if you were planning to do something back in your hometown. But like Malika was saying, if you are also interested in doing some sort of an internship abroad, in maybe the UK or in Indonesia, they have these really cool things called like career guides, and you can search for opportunities by the country. And so this is a really, really excellent resource for you all to have in your back pocket. Please look into Global Fellows, what Malika was sharing. That's something that we host through the Career Center. But you can also connect with your academic unit if maybe you wanted to participate in like a Maymester. Those are really cool too, where that gives you the opportunity to study abroad for a semester. So that's a really, really great resource for you all to have as well. Also, just as another kind of tidbit, if you are an international student, Going Global is also a really excellent resource for you, because you would be able to identify different employers in the past who have maybe hired students for OPT or CPT opportunities. It'll tell you the organization or the employer. It'll tell you the position that they hired for, and it will also show you the year that they hired for that position. So for that, it doesn't necessarily give you like a listing of opportunities, but it will give you the employers that have historically hired in the past that are international student friendly as far as like in regards to the process. And so you could take that information over to like a LinkedIn and connect with an employer, have an informational interview, or see when maybe they might be on campus, or learn a little bit more about like what opportunities they have and apply, since you're already familiar and know that they have that they are familiar with that process. So, you know, this is a great resource for you to use, whether it is as an international student trying to identify CPT or OPT, or if you are a student that just wants to go to another country to kind of do an internship there if you're thinking about maybe moving there in the future. So this is a really great resource. All right, next we have Vault. Vault is like my favorite of all time. I don't think there's one career advising meeting where I don't mention Vault. I love Vault. So for those of you who are coming in and you're in a major, but you're not quite sure maybe what exactly you can do with that major, or how much kind of like, I guess, diversity might be within that major as far as what you can do, Vault is a really, really, really cool resource that you can use to get more understanding and knowledge about a particular industry. So you'll see on the left-hand side, again, you can access this through ConnectSC under the resources tab, but you'll see on the left-hand side, we have industry guides like accounting, advertising and marketing, banking and finance, consulting, energy, so on and so forth. So if you were interested in learning more about like the history of that industry, what the industry looks like today, you know, the licensing that you might need, the education you might need, the professional associations that are tied to it, you know, this is a really, really great way to build your knowledge base on an industry that you're entering into that you might not be the most familiar with. It'll also give you a list of like top internships for certain industries, top consulting or law firms that you might be interested in learning more about to maybe connect with for recruiting purposes. I was just on a call this morning with a student, and she was graduating with environmental studies, and she didn't know what exactly she could do with that. And there is a vault guide on environmental studies and science jobs. And so it gave like a list of different jobs you can do, like being a botanist, being an aquarist, being a park ranger, wildlife preservation, doing a lot wildlife preservation. It was just all these different things that you can do in the environmental science area. And so if you're looking to just kind of like explore and see what's out there, Vault is an excellent opportunity for you all to look at that. They also post like some internships and stuff if you're looking for internship listings, blogs and articles. So if you are just kind of curious about other industries, if you're in a major and you want to know more of what you can do with that, then you can definitely utilize Vault for that. I also want to mention just really quickly, because I'm talking about using this if you're interested in learning more about your own major. I don't think I mentioned this before, but each of you do also have a school-based career center that you can go to. So the USC Career Center is like the general career center for everyone. But if you are interested in learning a little bit more about your specific major or what you can do with it, then you can go to your school-based career center to speak with a career advisor there. So Marshall has Marshall Career Source. If you're in Viterbi Engineering, they have Viterbi Gateway. So that's something for you all to keep in mind as well. And also just to open yourself up to more opportunities when it comes to jobs and internships. We have our listings, but your own academic units might have their own job portals and listings and special events for specifically for their own students. So use both. All right, one of the last resources is our Career Center Chronicles. This is really cool. It's on our website at careers.usc.edu. We are always posting different articles that we think would be helpful for Trojans to know about. We have a ton of information on like how to navigate virtual platforms now, how to thrive when working remotely, top employers that are hiring during the pandemic, a lot of really, really cool articles that you all can check out when it comes to what's happening today, different things that are happening professionally in the workplace, and a lot of really cool tips too when it comes to virtual interviewing maybe. Like that's a thing now. Virtual interviewing was always a thing, but now even more so. So if you have like a virtual interview coming up and you don't know how to prepare for it, we have a lot of articles on our Career Center Chronicles, which is our blog, that you can look at to just kind of prepare for some of those things that might be upcoming for you all. So that's just another resource that I always like to plug, because we cover a lot of different topics, whether that is tips on how to navigate platforms, useful tips for moving forward in the workplace, or anything like that. Almost anything you can think of, we have some sort of a blog or article linked out. So please take note of that too. Are we doing good so far, everyone? Feeling good? Okay. All right, so moving a little bit more into our connections. I just want to talk to you all briefly, because I want to keep you all on time, about some of the events and programs that we have for you all to connect with employers and with your peers and different academic units that we might partner with in some of these initiatives or student organizations. So we are really big on the Trojan family, the Trojan network, right? I'm sure you all heard that a lot when you were applying. And it really does ring true, especially when you're thinking of the Career Center. We really strive to provide an ample amount of opportunities for you all as students to connect with employers in a lot of different ways. Whether that is more intimate settings where it's like yourself meeting directly with an employer or representative, or a little bit larger networking settings, perhaps like a career fair or an I3, which we're going to talk about. So really depending on your level of comfort, depending on your industry or your field of interest, you know, that might kind of dictate what programming stands out the most to you and what resonates most with you and what you feel comfortable going into. So just to kind of go over this a little bit quickly. So Trojan Talks are really, really great. This is when we bring employers to campus from different industries and organizations, and they will host, now virtually, a presentation about their organization. So let's say maybe Disney wants to do a Trojan Talk because they have a couple of great new positions in like advertising or product development or data analysis, and they really want to network and connect with students on a more intimate individual level, right? They might come to us, say, hey, we want to hold a Trojan Talk. They would give us their information. We put it on our calendar. You would sign up and attend through Connect SC, and you would go hear the employer's presentation. They might share a little bit about their own career journeys. They might talk a little bit about their organizational structure, their internship program, but it really just gives you an opportunity to connect with someone that's in that industry that you're hoping to connect with. And they're really, really nice. Employers just really want to have a conversation with you. They really want to just get to know you. So by you attending Trojan Talks, it gives you a great opportunity to just kind of get to know them a little bit more face to face. So Trojan Talks, again, are happening virtually. It would be on like Zoom or a platform of their choosing. If we were on campus, then it would be in one of the what do you call it? The presentation rooms, TPR, I think. I get the two mixed up. It's like TPR and then there's Cardinal and Gold. But I think for Trojan Talks, we primarily use TPR, the Trojan Presentation Room. We also have the Trojan Network if you are interested in connecting with alumni. If you want to connect with an alumni that's maybe from your area or in your field of interest, or that works for a company that you're interested in learning more about, you can sign up for the Trojan Network and kind of like create a profile and identify different alumni who are interested in connecting with you, to mentor you, to just give professional advice, to chat with you, to do informational interviews with you. So we definitely recommend that you use LinkedIn. You can connect with alumni through LinkedIn as well. And if you don't have a LinkedIn profile yet, do it. We have like a resume guidebook, and it gives like checklist items for how to create your profile and things that you should include. So definitely create a LinkedIn account. But the Trojan Network is a little bit more, it's a lot more specific to Trojan alumni and current students. And that's our own career platform. So if you want to connect with alumni, whether it's by geographic region or whether it's by interest, the Trojan Network is a really great platform to do that. And you know, the alumni that are on there are going to respond to you more than likely because they're on there because they want to be. It's voluntary. They want to support. They want to make sure that you all get the resources that you need. So sign up and register for the Trojan Network. Diversity Meet and Greet is another really great one that we do, where we partner with different student organizations. I think the date for that is September 30th. We bring different employers to campus that have an interest in specifically meeting with student organizations that have diverse backgrounds. It really gives you the opportunity to network with these employers, with your student organization, if they have any sort of like diversity initiatives, or just kind of want to meet students on, again, a more individual level. Malika, I know that's something that you're working on. I don't know if you wanted to share something else about it, if I might have missed something.
Yeah, no, it's a really cool program because the way we've designed the event, it's almost like a reverse career fair. For the first hour, it's really a showcase of all of our amazing student orgs. And you're going to be pitching, if you're part of an org, to our employers about what are your mission, what are some of the events you do, so that employers can see that you have a lot of tangible experience to bring to their roles. Then for the last hour and a half is a formal networking session where we actually open it to any students that identify with various backgrounds and are part of different populations on campus, and they can come and network with different employers. So right now we have some of the bigger companies we have are like Wells Fargo, we have KPMG, we have Moss Adams. We're working on a few others, but we have about 8 employers right now, and we normally see about 10 to 15 different employers that are coming just to interact with these students. So it is on September 30th from 2 to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time this year. And we'll be sending out announcements for students to RSVP and sign up. More to come.
Yeah, thank you, Malika. So again, we're trying to provide you all, like, we're trying to help y'all out here, okay? Like, we're here for you. So we're trying to provide you all with a host of different opportunities and ways that you can engage with employers. I know the career fairs, some students have said, can be a little bit daunting because it's so many employers. It's usually on Truesdale, which is like the center of campus. It's like 150 employers. Lines can be long, can be a little bit like, oh my gosh. And so we really try to provide you all with a lot of different ways that you can connect with employers, whether that's through like a diversity meet and greet or a Trojan talk. Still participate in the career fair, which we're going to talk about, but we want to give you all a lot of different ways to do that, depending on, again, your field of interest or your personality type, if you're a little bit shy or anything like that. So trying to help you out. We care. I3, or Investigate Industries and Internships, is actually one of my favorite programs. It's really, really cool because we bring employers to campus based on the industry. So for the spring, we might have like business and consulting, we might have entertainment, TV and sports, transportation, sustainability, and energy. So we'll invite different employers to come to campus on a specific day, and they will host a panel. And it's all on our Facebook page if you wanted to kind of learn a little bit more about like what it looks like and hear from some of these employers and see what it's been like in the past. You can go to our Facebook page and look at some of our past I3 sessions, but you would be able to listen to a panel from employers that are from some of these industries. We would ask them a series of questions about like their internship programs, their own career experiences, what they're looking for in an intern. And again, it's all relevant for that particular industry that they're representing. So that's really a cool space for you to connect with a lot of different employers in an industry that you're interested in learning more about or maybe interning for. So it starts off with the panel that first hour, and then the next hour or two is for, again, the networking. I'm telling you, we're trying to set you up. If you're not familiar or comfortable with networking, come see us, because at USC, you're probably going to be doing a lot of it. But that second half of the I3 would be you walking around to different tables virtually on Brazen. I'm saying in person language, but you walk around to different tables or booths, and you would speak directly with that employer to ask more about like their opportunities, maybe give your elevator pitch, share your resume with them, let them know you plan on applying, anything like that. So I3 is really cool and it's industry specific. We have 2 career fairs that we usually do every year, the fall and the spring career fair. This is only 2 of them. These are like 2 primary ones. We also have like an international students career fair. We have our our current students and recent alumni. I'm sure I'm botching that title, but we have our recent graduates and alumni career fair. So we have a lot of different career fairs that go on throughout the year, but our primary ones are the fall and spring virtual career fairs that are going to be happening. Again, we're going to be using the online Brazen platform for those career fairs coming up. So again, if you're not familiar, get familiar. It'll be really, really important. Again, these usually happen on Truesdale, but now that we're using Brazen, it's all going to be virtual. You sign up on Brazen, upload your resume, and then you would connect with employers or get in line to meet a specific employer and like virtually wait in line at their booth until you're connected to have a conversation with them. So sign up for that when you can. You can look at the employers beforehand to see who's going to be there, what industry they're coming from, learn more about them. So then when you connect with them, you have a foundation and you're not just kind of starting from scratch. We also have our on-campus recruiting program. That's basically in partnership with Connect SC. So when I was talking before about being able to apply for jobs and internships, the way on-campus recruiting works, you would submit your resume and application materials directly through Connect SC. And if that employer is participating in OCR, Connect SC would be used as a platform to help schedule an interview with yourself and the employer if they invite you to interview. And so you would upload your application materials. The employer would look at it on Connect SC. If they say, hey, this is a really, really great candidate, I'm going to invite them to interview, all that information would appear on your Connect SC. And then you would come into the Career Center or virtually to meet with the employers directly through that on-campus recruiting program. So for those of you who are in Marshall, I'm not sure if any of you are, but if you're in Marshall, coming up in the fall, we're going to have a lot of different employers coming to campus that are looking for Marshall students that are coming from like consulting and accounting backgrounds, tax or investment banking. A lot of those employers tend to use OCR quite a lot. So if you are coming from that particular academic unit, if you're in Marshall, you might want to really get familiar with that platform in OCR, because that tends to be one platform that they use a lot to facilitate scheduling and interviewing with students that they'd like to invite back. So really quickly, because I know we're running out of time, I've talked so much. Okay, so we have the Dream Dollar Scholarship, as far as like some funding opportunities for you all to participate in, and the First Generation Scholarship. Dream Dollars is for $1,500. First Generation Scholarship is for $2,000. Both of these scholarships, you'd have to apply, but essentially, to make it brief, if you have secured a summer internship that's unpaid, you're currently enrolled student, you would be able to apply for either Dream Dollars or the First Generation Scholarship for this, I guess, I don't want to say stipend, but for this scholarship, right? So let's say you secured an unpaid internship in downtown LA for the summer, but you need some, additional cash for your living expenses or whatever. You could apply for Dream Dollars or the First Generation Scholarship to get that funding to kind of help you through the summer, since your internship would be unpaid. And then we also have the First Generation Mentor Program. Actually, Malika, I think maybe I'll let you speak to that, because you probably can articulate it way better than I can, since this is also your area.
Yeah, no, this is a really cool program. So this is actually a formal mentor program where, as an undergrad student, we pair you one-on-one with another alumni of the university. And what you have in common is the fact that you both attended USC and you're both first-generation students. And throughout the academic year, you're going to be doing various activities around your career and professional development, from doing mock career fairs, practice networking, resume and cover letter. We do a great session on like financial literacy, and it's a really cool program. And the application for that is going to be open August 17th for undergraduate students who identify as first generation. This program is open to all sophomores, juniors, and seniors, as well as first year transfer students. For incoming freshmen, because it's your first year, you're gonna have so much going on, getting acclimated to campus and just getting used to the pace of USC. We encourage you to consider this program your sophomore year instead. And if you have any questions, you can access our website, or I'm going to be hopping onto another call at 1 o'clock, and I'm going to leave our intern's email, and you can email me any of those questions you might have about the program. And it's all virtual and online.
I know, we just want it's virtual.
It's different though than Brazen. We're using a different platform. It's really cool. It feels like LinkedIn, and it's the same platform that the Trojan Network is on. So you'll get very comfortable with that website as well.
Nice. Thank you, Malika. Malika's so awesome. Aren't they awesome? I think just beautiful. Mundry and Malika, I appreciate you all. Thank you for being here. All right, we're almost done. So just a couple of key events for you all to be aware of. I won't go through all of these because some of these we've covered already, but just for you all to save the dates. Our on-campus recruiting is starting on September 9th, and that's going to go all the way into November 20th. And then below that are the spring dates from January to April. We have the virtual fall career fair that's actually coming up relatively soon, September 16th and 17th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Brazen. So I'm telling you, get familiar. Career Fest is really, really cool. So that's something that we do for a week in the spring, where we have different departments on campus that come together and they host a series of professional events. So it could be like a resume workshop. It might be like how to navigate the workplace. It's like, an incoming student, or, just all kinds of topics that different departments on campus will host that you can go throughout the week. One of our signature events is our employer resume review. We invite different employers from different industries to come and review your resumes, which it's like, oh gosh, that's kind of scary. It's not really. The employers are really nice, but it really gives you that opportunity to hear from an actual professional, right? To get feedback on your resume and for them to kind of see like, oh, this is a good candidate for this, and they might share opportunities with you. So the employer resume review is really, really cool because you can come to us for resume critiques. But now you would also have the opportunity to hear some of that feedback from actual employers that are in the field to get that like real world insight, I guess you could say. We're real world insight too, but sometimes coming from the employer, it can hit a little bit different. Like when they say something, it might reinforce the things that we've been telling you all. And that's always great for it to come from different places. Diversity meet and greet that Malika and I talked about a little bit earlier, September 30th, 2020. 2 to 5 p.m., also on Brazen. And then for those of you, I know it's a little bit early to be thinking about this now because you're just incoming, but for the virtual graduate schools fair, we have graduate schools that come from all over the nation to participate. If you are an undergraduate student and you're looking to pursue your graduate studies either at USC or elsewhere. Again, you are incoming, so you're probably not even thinking about that yet, but that is an event that we have that happens every single year, and that will be in October. All right, so just for some key takeaways from today. So when it comes to the Career Center, we can help you with the career development process. You know, we're here for the entire journey, whether it is, you know, you starting from scratch and just kind of learning about majors, all the way up until you're accepting that job offer, and even beyond that, right? If you take a job or, you know, you're in that particular industry and you're thinking of pivoting, you want to try something new, we are here for that process for you all. One thing that I just want to stress, the career development process is an ongoing journey. It's something that is always happening, and it can happen at any time in your professional lives. It can happen at 22 when you graduate. It can happen at 30. It could happen at 40, 50, 60. It doesn't matter. That's something that's ongoing. And so we provide support for that process. No matter where you are, we can find some way to help you strategize and support you, or try to connect you with some folks who can. Career industry research and resources. We went over a lot of those on Connect SC, whether that is Vault or whether that is something like Connecting Majors to Careers, which will give you all the different majors and all the different things you can do within that major. So if you just want to learn more about something, we have that. Exploring job and internship opportunities on Connect SC, using Going Global, also using Vault. LinkedIn is also a really great one. That's like a third-party platform that's not like Career Center specific, but we can also provide you with some of those other platforms that might be advantageous for you to use outside of the Trojan community. And then also lastly, connecting with employers and alumni, right? So again, it's the Trojan Network. It's all about the family. And so we want to make sure that you all are connected with the appropriate people that you need to kind of take that next step, whether that is through opportunities, whether that is through informational interviews, anything like that. And I do want to say, hi, Melita, I do want to say, when I say connecting you to opportunities, it's not like, hey, I want to work at Disney. Can you give me the number for a person? Like, that's not what we're talking about. That's not networking. You do have to do the work, right? We can help you strategize. We can show you the process. But that's our role in it. This, again, is your journey. It's about you doing the work, you taking the initiative. We can show you the way, but you got to take it to that next level. So when I say Trojan family, I don't necessarily mean that like, oh, we know people in high places and we can get you that job. That would be nice. But it's really about you all taking what we give you to the next level and really implementing it to the best of your ability. And if you can't, we're here for that. All right. So just for social media stuff, follow us if you don't already. Here's some of our LinkedIn profiles, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. A lot of our videos we put on YouTube. A lot of our advertising for programs we post on Instagram. If you don't follow us, please follow us. Give us a follow. Help us get verified. We're trying to get verified so we can provide you all with opportunities smoothly and efficiently. But seriously, for Instagram, that's the way we advertise a lot of our upcoming events. And we post on that in real time. Mundry is over that account and she does a great job. So if you're interested in learning more about different things that are coming up, Instagram is a great way to stay connected with us. Mundry, did you have something you wanted to add?
No, just I'm like literally in the process of posting something. No, we're always posting. That's sometimes the fastest way to get information as well too. And you know, employers reach out to us and are like, "Can you push this through?" And you know, half the time we say yes, and if that means yes, then we are posting it through Instagram. So
yes, exactly. So follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on any of these, but Instagram again is the one that we really kind of use a lot. So if you want real time information and updates, follow us on there. All right, so this is just in general some of our information, where we're located, our number. If you have any general questions, you can email us at careers.usc.edu. You can also call us, but me and Mundry and I actually monitor that careers email. So, you know, if you, I know, right? If you have any questions, we'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. We're usually pretty good about it. So you shouldn't have any trouble getting any of your questions answered if you email us directly if anything comes up. All right, so I know we're out of time, but I'm more than happy to stick around for any additional questions that you all might have. But, you know, thank you all so much for joining us today. Thank you, Zoom, for letting this go smoothly. Thank you for hanging in there. Last week, we had a little bit of tech issues, so I'm really glad that you all got the stronger end of all of this and everything went smoothly. You got everything that you need succinctly. So yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to stick around. You're more than welcome to, but don't feel obligated to. You're more than welcome to leave whenever you're ready. But thank you all again for joining us. Welcome to the Trojan family. Welcome to USC. Congratulations. We're proud of you. And fight on.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
In the meantime, we do have a question in case somebody wanted to stay, but someone asked, so do we already need to start applying for summer 2021 internships?
That's a really good question. So it depends. It's up to you. So it depends on the industry that you're in. Like I was saying before, if you are coming from like consulting or accounting or investment banking, a lot of those, they definitely are going to be doing more of the recruiting during the fall. So, you know, there are different opportunities that you can engage with them through like some of their leadership programs. If you are a first or a second year student, if you're coming in as a transfer and you're a junior or a senior, you can participate in some of their like actual internship programs. But that's again for like the business kind of side. If you are coming from any other industry, you know, it's totally up to you and what you're hoping to accomplish for this next academic year. If you want to take some time to just kind of like get familiar with USC and the departments and your academic units, you know, then you can take some time for this semester to just kind of get acclimated and apply during the spring. But, you know, again, it's totally up to you. Some students want to hit the ground running and start applying right away, and that's fine. Some students want to wait a little bit and then apply a little bit later, which is also fine. I think I would just say be familiar with your own industry, your own kind of like major, and when recruiting typically might happen, like entertainment, TV, anything like that might do more so recruiting like during the summer, during the spring. So, you know, it just depends. But don't feel obligated to start looking for things now because everyone else is, or because your friends are, or your friends are landing things. Like, don't worry about that. Your own path is your own. So you do that when you are ready, but it doesn't hurt to be knowledgeable about your industry and when recruiting typically happens, just so you can be aware. Great question. Are there any other questions?
Not yet.
No? All right, I think that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and stop recording. Again, thank you all for coming. We appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. You're awesome. All right.